Well, it's actually kind of funny. I didn't even really want the intro to play, but it is a good short intro versus the long intro I normally do. Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday, October 20th. Bear with me for a second while I do a little bit of tech work. Oh, see, there it happens right there. While I do a little bit of tech work to make sure that we are live every place. Okay? So just bear with me while I do a little hokey pokey dance and some of this other stuff. So, but if you are watching, definitely leave a comment and definitely leave a comment and let me know where you are watching from as I do some of the little tech work here. And actually, we are live on Facebook too. I didn't even pay attention to the fact that I was going to go live multiple places. But hey, welcome. I am going to talk for as long as the coffee lasts, and then I have to finish packing and get on the road. So if you're watching, definitely let me know. Definitely let me know where you are watching from, and if you're in Dallas at the event, because I'm going to be heading down to you here shortly, in probably, oh, I don't know, an hour or two. Um, um, and so I'm looking forward to meeting everybody. But like I said, I'm just doing some really quick show production work here to to make sure that everybody is has awareness of what we are doing. Okay, cool. We are live. We are live every place, and my buddies from Australia are showing me a picture, showing me a picture of the Tim Tam. Um, uh, yeah. So I've got some on my live show. Okay, so I've got some really cool friends from a product in the high level world that are uh, hey Keith, good morning, man. You're not going to be there, right, Keith? I'm not mistaken. You're not going to make it. But I've got some really cool friends coming in from Australia, and one of them, Johan, had asked what I wanted from Australia because typically, if you have friends from out of country, oftentimes what you'll do is you'll bring them something from your country if you've never met them, and likewise. And so Johan was asking what could he bring, and I said, you know what? I've never tested, um, I've never tested Vegemite, and I've always wanted to ever since Men Without Hats. I think it was Men Without Hats came out with the song "The Land Down Under," and I'm just always wondering what the heck is Vegemite. What is a Vegemite sandwich? I have no idea how what I've no, basically I have no idea what that is. So he's bringing me some Vegemite. So maybe tonight we're going to do a recorded session of me tasting Vegemite. Um, for the first time and cricketing vicariously through your road trip. Hey man, hopefully you'll make it. Hopefully you'll make it. Next year. My goal. I didn't think ahead a little bit on the budgeting for this, so I didn't get the super mega badass VIP ticket. But that is what I'm aiming for next year. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make it a high priority of mine to get that as early as possible because ticket prices always go up. And the super mega VIP ticket has events. I think today, Sunday, October 20th. It has events tomorrow. The official events start tomorrow evening or Tuesday morning and go through Wednesday. No, go through Thursday. So if you're a VIP person, it's like a 5 day event, and if you're a regular peon person, which I am going as this year, it is more of a 3 day event. So I want it to be a 5 day event, and then I could even do my event the day before event next year. So let's get into it because I do have some things I have to get done, and I also want to show you guys some things. I had a really popular post in the high level community this week, and I want to talk about how I did it and why you may want to do it. But there's things I want to get through first. First of all, happy Sunday. Someone the other day DM'd me and said, Patrick, it's like you run open office hours on Sunday. It's just like you give free tech support. I didn't realize that. Yeah, it's kind of like Stop Doing Nothing Media has open office hours on Sunday, which I'm perfectly okay with. If you have any questions at all, or if you have any ideas on strategy or tactics you want to talk about when it comes to generating leads or doing digital marketing, I'm here for it. I really am here for it. And this is a shout. This is very much also for those of you. I mean, people like Keith who's watching knows he can reach out to me any time. But I really like in-person connections. So if you are going to be anywhere in the Dallas metroplex area. Specifically, I like to call it the downtown area. And the biggest reference point I have for you is the Giant Eyeball Park. So if you live anywhere, even if you're not coming to the event, if you're anywhere near the Giant Eyeball Park, if you don't know what the Giant Eyeball Park is, Google it. I discovered it last year. It's very cool for about 5 minutes, but there's a giant eyeball in a park in Dallas, and that's where we had an event last year. So if you're anywhere in that area, I know there's some co-working spaces. I know there's some other businesses in that area, medium to large businesses, which I'd love to talk to in the Dallas area. Please reach out to me, either DM me on YouTube, DM me on Facebook, or you'll see the number here. You can text me the number through rotation on the screen, 405-217-4752. You can always text me, even at the event. I'm packing my shirts. I've got a big giant QR code on the back of my shirts there. So that's what's going on for Dallas. I'm pretty excited about that. I'm actually going to do this live and then wrap up my technology and get it in the car and hit the road, so people like my good friend Keith here, can live vicariously through me. Okay, so a couple of things. First of all, my event is October 21st, right? So almost 24 hours from now. So 24 hours from now, I'll be sitting in the room prepping for the event. 24 hours from now, you can go to, I'll have a live in-person event, very small amount of seating, okay? You can go to ghlbadass.com/badass and register. I will put this link in the, comments here for you to join. And I'm going to keep an eye on it, but heck, I don't think we're at capacity, but we might be close to capacity, because for the very first event, I did not get a giant room. I think I got a room that's going to hold 10, 15 people at most. 10, 15 people at most. And last time I checked, we were actually pretty close. Um, we were actually pretty close to filling up, and I even had some more registrations overnight. And what we're going to be doing there is a brilliant man, Thomas Keenan, and I. We're talking about how to basically take you from being a high-level CRM noob to a badass in the next 60 days. And so he and I, this is a completely free event. And again, it's at ghlbadass.com/badass. It's a completely free event. I've got us some co-working space. I got us a conference room, and Thomas and I are going to ping pong and go through the workflow it takes to get you from knowing absolutely nothing in high level to being a high level badass by 1 o'clock. So our event is from 9 to 1 tomorrow. We're going to be talking. I've noticed that a lot of the responses I got in for the event are help, I need leads. So we are going to be focused very heavily on very, very top of funnel marketing, okay? Very, very top of funnel marketing in this thing. But again, it's free. It's free. If you're going to be at the high level event in Dallas, sign up. Again, ghlbadass.com/badass, and it's going to be from 9 to 1 Monday morning. This is probably geared more towards the non-VIP people, because the VIP people have things going on Monday, okay? They're hanging out with the developers, or hanging out with the C-suite of high level. And people like me and my nerdy friends, we're going to be in a classroom from 9 to 1 o'clock talking about how to basically get more juice out of that high level rock. Okay, that's the first thing I want to cover this morning. The second thing was the actual event. Yes, there is a high level CRM event. I have no official capacity in this event. I'm actually not even speaking, but that starts, I believe VIP events start probably even today or tomorrow morning is when VIP events start. And then the official event, I think, starts Monday night/Tuesday morning, and then the sessions are Tuesday, Wednesday, and half of Thursday. So again, if you're a regular GA ticket kind of person, it ends up being more of a 3-day event. If you're a VIP or a VIP plus person, it ends up being more like a 4 or 5-day event. So hopefully, if you're in the Dallas area, you're going to attend. Make sure if you are there, you introduce yourself to me and say hi. I should have no problem standing out. I made sure of that. Got a big giant QR code in the back of my shirt, and all kinds of Patrick contact information on the front of my shirt, and something on my sleeve. So I'm going to get you from every angle if we are on site. Okay. Please travel safe. If you're driving like I am, have plenty of caffeine, pay attention to the road, make sure you hydrate, make sure you get out and stretch. and especially as you're coming into Dallas. Okay, Dallas traffic can be quite challenging for those of you who have ever been to Dallas, and so you really want to be on your peak, if you will, peak mental state when you head into Dallas traffic. And I'll give you an example of this. I'm coming from Oklahoma City, and oftentimes what I'll make sure I'll do is just north of Dallas, maybe like Denton or someplace like that, is I'll actually stop and take a stretch break, hydrate break, basically get all the stiffness and the tiredness out of my body. Because when you're in Dallas traffic, it's like white knuckle traffic. Stemmons Highway is nothing to be messed with. And if you're used to it, you're probably saying, oh, Patrick, it's no big deal. I do it all the time. Yeah, but there are people coming down who have never been in this traffic and have no idea where they're going. I grew up in LA traffic, so Dallas traffic seems like a breeze to me. But please drive safe coming in. Make sure you're at your peak energy. And from what I understand, the hotel is already set up and there's already banners up. So when you get to the Statler, you should be in pretty good shape there. So again, just make sure you say hi to me and let's hang out a little bit this weekend. Let's have some protein. Let's do a workout. Let's talk tech so we can basically help you have a better 2025. Last thing is what we usually do on the show is we usually talk about how do I increase the font size on that? We usually talk about something inside the product, either strategic or tactical, to basically help um, help you run a better business. And this past week, you never know. You never know, as I'm as someone who really tries to focus on strategy, but I do dip into tactics. And you never know from a strategic standpoint or a tactical standpoint what's going to be popular. Okay. And so for those of you in the community may know that I put a post up this week that talks about the importance of documentation and making sure you have a good audit log as to what people are doing. And that thing got 100 plus likes. I had no idea. My email up to 110. I had no idea. People were like, where do you turn this feature on? How do I do this kind of thing? So I thought I'd talk about that. No, first of all, yeah, I'm going to talk about that. Then I'm going to talk about what I know are new, possibly, I don't work for the company, possibly new features coming in HighLevel that I may or may not have seen, that I may or may not already be using. Okay. And if you have one that you want me to cover that I may or may not have seen or am not using, let me know and I will cover it also. Okay, so let's get into the techie side of things. Let's make sure we share the right screen. Are we got the right screen up and going? Oh, comment from Vinny from the other day. Cool. Okay, so this is my legitimate. Okay, cool. This is my straight up legitimate training instance here. So the post I did recently in the community, which talks about what you might call it. Documentation and audit logs for what's going on with your contacts. One of the more interesting things that I get pulled in to some of my B2B clients on is helping them audit and letting them know what's going on because they've had a techie in the company before who set things up for them and they have no idea how things work. They have no idea how their business logic's working. They have no idea how they get leads in. They have no idea how the workflow is working for each one of these scenarios. And so I've become a huge fan over the years of doing, documentation inside. Let me see, make sure I get my picture here a little bit bigger. Making sure I'm doing documentation inside the product. And one of the ways I do that is as contacts flow through things, is I like to note where things are happening. Because oftentimes, you'll come into a contact here who's a good lead for coaching or a good lead for something else, and you'll see that they may have a strong engagement score or they have reached out to you and you want to know something about them, what they've done, how they've gotten to the point, or what they've seen of your material or what they've walked through to get to the point to call you on the phone to say, hey, I'm a strong prospect. I want some of your magic juju. And so what I showed this morning was, excuse me, what I showed this week was that inside my contacts, I'm just going to hop inside of a random one here. So all the data you're seeing on screen, I'm making up as far as I go. Notes over here. So what you have is you have the ability inside this product, and let's go pick a different contact here. Let's go pick my test contact here and see if I have notes here. Okay, good, I do. So what you're seeing here is a note called contact created. And you would normally think, oh, Patrick, that's just part of the native product, right? You just have an audit log. No, the audit log inside this product is actually buried in an admin setting someplace. So normally when you come into a contact and you want to know information about that contact, you have to click all over the place. You have to scroll down here on the left to see the answers to all of their questions. You have to scroll down here on the left to get to things like, oh, what automations have they been in? What tags do they have? What have they spent? You got what, 6 tabs over here on the right. Custom objects, that's coming probably pretty soon. Payments has some amounts. So there's all these different places you have to click sometimes to try and figure out what happened to a contact. Even down here in the lower left-hand corner, this is where it says created by appointment down here. Oh, you know what? You can't see it. Hold on. My face is in the way. Down here on the lower left-hand corner, as a matter of fact, this is where you have to go to see where a contact was even created. So to me, this was kind of insufficient. And so what I've done in this CRM and other CRMs, let me move my face out of the way and make my face smaller. You know what? We will put my face here in the upper left-hand corner because I think that's a pretty innocent place over there. What I've done is I've started putting a lot of notes into HighLevel when it comes to documenting what's going on. And I do that over here in the notes section, but I don't do it manually. I go down here in my automations and I do it. So first of all, whenever you see me talk about something in HighLevel and you come into my test instance and you're like, Patrick, you don't eat your own dog food. I leave my test instance kind of messed up on purpose so you can watch me improve it over time. I really do. That is really a plan of mine, is to leave just kind of the whole thing dirty so you can watch me clean it up. So first of all, one of the things I've been pretty good about doing pretty recently is numbering my automations and numbering my folders so I know where things are coming from. So let's say, so contact created. So, if you were to come back to this contact right here, and you will see this is created. So you have no idea what workflows this contact has been through. You can kind of scroll down here on the left-hand side. Okay, you can kind of scroll down here on the left-hand side, and you can see the workflow name that it's active in right now. And you can kind of see the contact created. So normally what you have to do is you have to kind of go search for these names inside of your automations to see what they do. And you may not know what folder they're in. You may have no idea how your automations are organized over here. And this is especially for those of you who are coming in and taking over an account. Okay, so here's what I've started doing. Number one is I've started making numbered folders based on the area, based on the entity that's being modified. You could also do this by project or by marketing campaign. In this particular case, we're just going to do it by the object that's being modified, okay? So I may have one here called 100 contacts. Now, that does not stand for I have 100 contacts. The 100 is just a numbering scheme I'm going to use to number everything contact related, okay? So 100 contacts. And so what I may do also, so this makes sense here, is I would possibly rename, my appointment folder to 200. And anything related to courses, I might rename 300. Okay. And initially, when you look at that, it kind of looks like confusing. You know what, this one, just to keep it out of the way, I'm going to rename this Good People from White Label Suite. I'm just going to rename this to 9s for now. And what I like about this, number one, is it automatically sorts, but number two, I can now come in here, and as a result of this folder structure, I can now come in and start to number my actual automations. And I'm curious if anybody else does something like this. Please leave a comment here if you do. So this contact created, we know that that was the one that I have this set up to be triggered whenever a new contact is created. So what I would probably do is I would move this, first of all, I'm going to move this inside the contact folder because it is contact related, right? And then I'm going to number this. Because it is 100, because 100 is the number of the folder, I would probably number this 101. Okay? And then, so that would tell me in the history of the contact where that note came from, okay, or what automations that person's been through. But here's the magic, which everyone seemed to have lost their mind over, is the fact that in automations, you can put in notes inside of your contact records. And you should be using this feature religiously. I mean, it's free, it doesn't cost anything, and it's going to give you a good audit log as to when things were created. Now, is the information in the audit log available someplace else? Yes, it is. But the nice part about the audit log is it's all in one place. It's all in one place in reverse. Uh, uh, um, I was going to say date time order, chronological. It's in reverse chronological order. So the most recent notes are on top and the older ones are on the bottom. So you get a very good detailed log about what happens. And where this really comes in handy is conditions, is areas where you have conditions. So if a contact is flowing through a workflow, you may not know what conditions they met. I mean, if there's like an if then, there may be 5 branches, and it would be nice to know before the if then and then right after the if then what path they took. This may be a coaching lead, a consulting lead, someone who's taken a course of yours, someone who's possibly a good lead for, excuse me, for some other business. Okay, this is just handy documentation and gives you a really good audit path, and also shows that you are organized when it comes to managing your automations. So these days, I would say contact created, and I would put this in the beginning of the note because that matches the automation there. So this now tells me instantly. This tells me that number one, everything that has 101 in the contact note came from this automation, and then I know that's a 100 series, so I know it's in the contact folder right here. So then what we do is we get something really cool here. Look, let's create another new test contact. We will call this one test contact and 852. And we will call this email address Patrick Almond plus 852, that cool little Gmail trick right there. And we will save this contact. And then what you will have over here is you'll have a note that tells you 101 contact created. So again, we know the exact automation it came from, we know exactly where the automation is, and we know what folder it's in, okay? And then down here on the left-hand side, you've also got the really handy information about automations. It's not there yet. Let's refresh this. We know we have automation history because we have a note there. So if I scroll way down here on the left-hand side, where's my freaking automations? There it is, 101 contact created. So it gives me a very good organization. I can put notes about business logic inside the sidebar, okay? I end up having a really good active and past automation history here. And I know because things are numbered, I know which things are, I know where things are located. It makes it very easy now for me to get around. And you can do this with forms, you can do this with funnels, you can do this with websites, because these are what's known as internal names. And you can call internal names whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. If you're an agency, no one's going to see this besides you and your staff. So call it whatever you want. If you are a VA, it's just make it your way of numbering things. And by the way, if you have a very big account or you do a lot of automations, feel free feel free to number these however you want. You may number this 1,000 and 2,000 and 3,000 or 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, these are just numbers to you, but it's just again a way to keep yourself organized. And what I really like about this now is what this allows you to do is allows you to use other products, even something like Google Sheets, to document things. So it's going to be very easy now for me to put these numbers inside of a Google Sheet and just have documentation on them. But probably the feature I like the best about these is it allows me to connect things. Okay, so let's say I have a form that is a 100 series form for a new contact. My automations are labeled in the 100s. Maybe my tags are labeled in the 100s. Okay, and the forms and the website and the pages and the funnels. Maybe all that stuff is labeled by my naming standard, and so it basically creates a self-documenting system. And this is something that you really should pay attention to, especially if you are new in the HighLevel world. You are going to create a lot of assets, okay? You're going to create a lot of forms, a lot of workflows, QR, all the stuff inside HighLevel. Over time, as your business grows, you're going to have a massive number of assets. It's important to get them organized ASAP, okay? Do it now. Do it now while you have while your account is small, while you may have a relatively, small number of contacts, under 10,000 in there, and a relatively small number of automations. Um, and if you're somebody who's using any kind of VA or outsourced service, force them to come up with this standard of yours and use it also. Okay. Again, it's just going to really matter as your account gets really bigger and you're going to start losing track of where things are. Unfortunately, inside this product and almost inside no product I've ever seen, is there the ability to just go into an automation or a contact or a course and say, show me all the associated things. For example, I can't go to a tag and say, show me everything that uses this tag, every automation or form or whatever that uses this tag. The documentation and the organization of this data is going to be up to you coming up with naming standards on this stuff. Okay. Now, real quick, um, getting back to this numbering here, you saw me do a really simple one with creating contacts and putting an audit log entry here inside of the notes. You should be doing this with everything. So write example like over here with appointment related. This is off the shelf appointment booking one. I would let's see, what am I, 200? So number one, I would name this to be a 201, right? Because you're with me, you saw how I do this. Contact related. Are there any notes in here yet? Nope, there are no notes. So if this were a live client automation, I would come here, I would add a note, right? The note's going to be a what? A 201 note, appointment booked. And yes, I can go over to the appointments area and see when appointments were booked, but why not just make it easy and put it right here in the audit log? So when I do this, I say appointment booked for, and I will put in appointment start date time. Okay. So now when I do that, let's go and make an appointment for that note for, we will say 201 note for new appointment. So now if I was to go to that contact, let me see, a new appointment in which confirmed. Okay, cool, got it. Everything is set up correctly. So now I can come to this contact right here. Let's go to this contact and create a new appointment. So we'll call this one test appointment, testing 201 appointment notes. We're going to just pick a random date time because we don't care. Book the appointment. It should instantly go to confirm status. And now, if I did my job right, there's my 201 note. And then if I go down to my audit area on my left-hand side, oh, it hasn't been refreshed yet. But again, you'll be able to see the automation that's associated with the actual note. So 20101, 201, I know what everything's been through. And again, this information is available in other places. If I want to know if this person has an appointment or when they booked it for, yes, I can go over to the appointments tab and see it here. But having all this in one place saves me from hopping around all the four corners of a contact and finding out where this information is located. Okay, let's scroll down again, left-hand side, down to automations. And there we go. 201, I don't know why they have that workflow thing in there. The fact that it's under automations makes the word workflow kind of redundant. Let me know what you think about that. We're going to kill this because that is from a different snapshot I imported. But so there you go. So you've got your 101s, your 201s. You know what's happened to this contact when it happened because you've got a very good audit log over here on the right. So this kind of, again, this kind of blew up in the hey Kayla, good. I can't remember. Are you coming to the event? I didn't see you up there. Cool. Are you gonna make it to the event? Are you in Dallas yet? And again, you can do this with all kinds of things. You can do this over here in your forms, if you are going to, well, you can see, you can see, I started doing it right here in my funnels. I was coming up with kind of a numbering scheme. But again, over here in your forms, you can do the same thing. You can see over here in the forms, I had kind of a, excuse me, a numbering scheme going on here. But that just makes it so, again, your system is self-documenting. If you can have a system that's self-documenting, you will be so much further ahead from people who just kind of randomly, willy-nilly put stuff out there, and then when that person leaves or gets hit by a truck, you have no idea how things are set up. And I have been that person, by the way. I have been the person who's left a company or got hit by a truck, and people have to come in and figure out what the heck, what the heck I was working on. Oh, Kayla, good to hear. Where are you from? I can't remember. So you're in Dallas right now. Very cool. Girl, I'll be hitting the road here probably in the next hour or two or three. Um, oh, that's right. You were the one texting me. I apologize. Okay. I apologize for not recognizing the name, but I do. Goodness gracious, come on. Who can't love that name? What hotel are you staying at down there? Are you staying at the Event Hotel Statler? I'm actually staying on Airbnb a few blocks away, and we got to get Keith next year. Keith Bashir is a good friend of mine. I believe he's watching. We got to get him there next year also. So hopefully you had a safe trip, and hopefully I will see you in a couple of hours. Hopefully I'll see you in a couple of hours, Kayla. Outside of this, let me know if there's something you wanted me to cover. Um, and while I wait to hear your ideas in the chat, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover a couple of things I think I've seen inside of HighLevel. San Fran Bay Area, man, I spent a lot of time out there on the Embarcadero on Stewart Street, right by Pier Zero. I know that area very well. There are times where I'd wake up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and go out in that area looking for coffee. It's hard to beat that area. It really is just a great view to grab a hot cup of coffee and go sit by Pier Zero and look at the water, look at life going on, and the Golden Gate Bridge and Alcatraz Island. I've been on a trip to Alcatraz Island. Cool, you're Airbnb. Um, uh, you're at Airbnb like I am down there. Very cool. Yeah, Keith is a brilliant badass. Okay, so some things that I've while I wait for some other questions, some things I think I've seen inside of HighLevel. Again, my disclaimer here is I don't work for the company, so everything I'm about to show you is just it's like I don't know how it works yet. I'm learning it myself, but I've seen it, and this is what I think they're announcing at the event. So first of all, every time every time that I do a stream here, I get a DM or something that's like, Patrick, wait, HighLevel can do event management? Um, I didn't know because they see this stuff on the left hand side and they're like, shoot, HighLevel can do tickets and event management? No, this is part of a feature that I believe is being released at the event called custom objects. And custom objects are just entities, kind of imagine them like spreadsheets, like workbook spreadsheets, okay? There are ways for you to store alternate data inside of HighLevel, okay? By default, HighLevel is very contact based, okay? Everything is revolved around a contact and connects to a contact. Tags are connected to a contact. Deals are connected to a contact. Custom fields, different companies are connected to contacts. It's very contact centric, which is the way it should be, okay? Because this is a CRM. This is not a drag and drop custom programming tool. This is a CRM. And the first letter of CRM is C, as in for client or customer, okay? And I want to emphasize that because every now and then I see someone coming in the HighLevel community. It's like, oh, I don't want to manage contacts. I want to manage my inventory. Or I don't want to manage contacts. I want to manage the trucks on my logistics business. So I want to use all the cool HighLevel features, but I don't want to use it on contacts. I want to use it on another entity. And so my answer to them is usually, well, if you need to manage trucks or if you need to manage event tickets or something else, then HighLevel may or may not be the best tool for you. Event tickets probably, but everything in HighLevel is contact or client oriented. And I just cannot emphasize that enough. Anyways, the reason you see Patrick has events and events tickets on the left-hand side is down here in settings. I got access to a beta feature a while back called custom objects. So you see down here in custom objects, you can basically create things. You can create custom data types to store your data into. So for me, for example, I created events. And if I was to go inside events, my event's going to have custom fields. Okay, so there's my event associations, but my events are going to have custom fields, and those are stored in the same place that all the custom fields are stored. So for example, I can add fields now and come up here, and when I'm building my field manager now, is I can create any custom field I want of their data types and associate that with an event. So what kind of data types does an event have? An event has a start date and a start time, an end date and an end time. An event has a location, right? What else does an event have? Event may have the different ticket types that are available. There's just all these kind of different things that events have. And so I am looking forward to using custom objects to create a full-blown event management system. And to me, that does relate directly to contacts. It also relates directly to selling, okay? HighLevel is a selling platform. It's a client-based platform. So to me, that's an ideal place to build a ticket management system, because every ticket will have a contact. So I am imagining that objects. Oh, there's my there's my custom object field right there. I'm imagining that they're going to announce custom objects being GA and being available for everybody at the event. Everything is content projects management system. There we go. Thank you. Oh, they're very cool, Keith. Yeah, great distinction. CRM is contact customer relationship management. Let's get Keith's comment up here because he's always brilliant. Yeah, everything is contact centric. It is not a project management system. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, and all of us with any kind, if you've been in tech more than 5 years, you see this often time. You get like a really good tool and you're really excited about it and the things it does, and you want to use it for everything. Okay, I see this a lot over in the world of ClickUp, which I do use for project management, and in Monday, and in Monday.com. Monday right now advertises itself as a CRM. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Monday is a CRM as much as Google Sheets is a CRM. Okay, there are Patrick, and this is if I feel passionate about this, it's because I believe that I like using the best tool for the project in front of me. And so people, kind of shaping a square block of Play-Doh into a circular block of Play-Doh, which really just looks like a square with curved edges on it, that doesn't work for me. And same when it comes to my tools. Okay, so I'm over in the ClickUp community and the Monday community saying, you know what, these are not CRMs. They will get by as basic CRMs for you, but if you want a CRM, here's my affiliate link. Click on it and get a real CRM. Okay. So I will get off that soapbox. I will get off that soapbox right there. But yeah, custom objects, I would imagine, is going to be announced. And the real power of custom objects to me is going to be the automations. So I'm going to hop over here yet and see if there's any inkling yet of automations for custom objects. Let's take a look. I look at this all the time. I have no idea what it's going to look like because even I haven't seen automations for custom objects yet. But there's going to have to be a trigger of some sort. So contact created, task added, new sign up. Okay, at some point in time, there's going to have to be a trigger in here for when a new custom object is instantiated. And I would imagine it's going to be something like just new object. And then in the filter, you can probably pick the object. And once you do that, let's pause this for a second. Once you do that, that covers every possible scenario you can need in the future when it comes to new tasks. Think about this. New task. A task is an object, right? New tasks, new contacts, new opportunities. Look at all these things on the right-hand side. New appointments, new affiliate sale, new sign up for a course. A course is an object, an affiliate is an object, an opportunity is an object. These things that we're saying here are all objects. So imagine if at some point in time, pie in the sky, remember Patrick is just throwing spaghetti against the wall out there with zero knowledge. Imagine that contact created went away, task added went away, customer booked appointment, opportunity, new, all the things that say new went away, and there was just a new object action. And then in that new object action, you pick the drop down as to new what. A new instance of what? Okay. I want to make sure I clarify the difference between a new object and a new instance of an object. Okay. But yeah, a new instance of a contact, a new instance of a ticket. That's what I imagine is coming. It's not gonna. It's definitely, obviously not there right now. And this is my beta account, so it would have been put in here. But I would imagine I'm going to see that probably in the next 48 to 72, if not 96 hours. Okay, that's going to be very cool to see. So I'm excited about that feature. The other one, let me see. And by the way, Keith, if Keith and Kayla and anybody else that's watching in the comments, first of all, comment and let me know where you are. Are you on site in Dallas? Where are you watching from, and what's your association? How did you get here? So another cool feature I believe is coming. Let's see what else is coming. First of all, let's look up on the change log. Oh, you know what? This is one that's coming that I've already jumped on top of. Guess what? We lose a lot of, I'm not going to say we lose a lot of people, but um, School was a popular platform below, and our very bearded, very hairy friend Alex Ramosi has made School even more popular, if you will. Okay, so School is a great place, like a Facebook group where people create free communities. They post up a lot of content, and they generate a lot of leads from it. Okay, so inside the world, oftentimes you get people that are like, "Which should I be using? Should I be using School or should I be using a HighLevel community?" And Patrick is always of the opinion that this tool in front of you has more value the more features of it you use. Okay, if you're the kind of person that comes in with the mindset, Patrick's being journalist here, don't attack me. If you're the kind of person that comes in with a mindset, it's like, oh, I just want to use the contact features of HighLevel, but I want to use Shopify for my e-commerce, and I want to use I want to use SurveyMonkey for my forms, and I want to use School for my communities. There's almost no point in having HighLevel at that point, in my opinion, okay? Because the beauty of this is how all these things interoperate together. So oftentimes in the world of HighLevel, we see people come in, they're like, hey, should I be using School for a community or should I be using HighLevel for a community? And for people that have existing assets, I often tell them to stay there because that's just important. But if you're someone who's doing something brand new, then why not do it inside one of your tools that you have already and make sure it works or doesn't work and then branch out? Okay, I'm going someplace with here. And by the way, I just realized that behind me I have the 10 philosophies of I believe this is EOS or the coach program, and one of them, discipline number 9, right above my monitor. This is completely unplanned. Discipline number 9: put everything in one place. Pick the one place where you will capture every idea, commitment, thought, action item, and promise. That Caleb brings up a very good point there. It's not the platform; it's the community building skills right there. So she brings up a very very excellent point um, right there. So that being said, I believe. I believe. I better put the microphone over here. I believe we are getting a School competitor, and that School competitor is at gocollab.com. So right now you can go here to gocollab.com and you can see people like me are starting to add their communities. Okay, I'll stop using my whispering voice because I'm sure hopefully nobody at the company heard me say that, right? But yeah, gocollab.com exists. And what this does is this allows you to push your communities over here from inside the product. You can basically make them, oh, there are public communities, pay or free, and you can push them over here. So as you can see, three, four people in the HighLevel community have discovered this feature. I'm not going to tell you where it is yet, but this is an existing community which Keith helps me run. This red one right here is mine. This is an existing community that was already inside of HighLevel, and all I had to do was go inside my HighLevel account and and basically mark this community as being in the collab directory. Okay, so you've got my buddy Charles Higgins. You've got his community right here. He was first in. By the way, I think these are in number order. Let me double check. Are these in number order? Oh, you know what? They're kind of in number order, but you know what they're really in? They're in member order, okay? They're in the number of members order. So, Charles, I know you just landed in Dallas, dude. I'm coming for you. I've got 116 members. He's got 280 members. Okay, so these it really kind of funny because these are kind of in the order they were added in, but because it's such a because yeah, thank you guys for keeping a secret. My secret's safe on YouTube, right? As long as I put my secrets on the internet, they're completely safe, and nobody will ever hear my secrets. Okay. But yeah, it looks like these are in number order. So Patrick and probably Patrick needs to basically boost his membership towards the stay to the front of the top here. But something else I did also is once I saw how this worked, and I was playing with this late last night, as a matter of fact, I think I got out of bed to make this banner because I was looking at some of these generic banners here. I was like, I had a pretty basic banner up here. I did not want to have a basic banner. I wanted to stand out. So you know what Patrick does? I used my amazing graphic design skills. I clicked on the Canva icon. I picked a template. I threw some text on it. I threw a headshot on it, and I put that up here. Okay, that's how Patrick is amazing. Is Patrick is good at Canva. Patrick's not good at graphics. Patrick is good at using templates and creating things. Okay. Um, so yeah, both Keith and Kayla have a great point here when it comes to communities. They don't build themselves, and I have been remiss on building mine, which is probably why it's only 116 members. So this is definitely going to force me to up my game because it can be a good lead generation option for me, and I'm always looking for more and more lead generation options. Okay, Keith, is there anything else new that I haven't seen? Let's go look at the recent changes. Let me see here. I just saw Kayla join my community. It popped up right there. Whenever someone joins my community, I get a pop up from HighLevel. So I saw Kayla just joined right there. She's going to help me boost that to 1 million people. Oh, changelog. So let me take a look at the changelog and see what else came out this week before I hit the road. And again, I'm not kidding you. I'm going to do this live stream. I'm going to shut this down because I need this tech in very cool, Kayla. I'm going to shut down this. I'm going to shut down this tech and wrap it all up and hit the road after I obviously pack some underwear and undershirts. So cool, more tax work here. Um, Voice notes. I saw that we could do voice notes, and I got really excited until I realized it was WhatsApp voice notes because I don't use WhatsApp a lot. But cool, if you're a WhatsApp user, you can do voice notes here now. And I've kind of made this Sunday open office session to kind of review more recent changes. Sub account dashboards, hyperlinks, and text box element. Okay, very cool. I love it when the dashboards get more information on them. So let's go up to my dashboard right here. And by the way, if you're somebody who wants to up your game, well, look at this. I have nothing on my dashboard, Patrick. Should mine, which is eventually be a pain. Of course, Keith, why wouldn't yours be in the directory, man? I would get yours in the directory and you can change it later. Oh, and by the way, Keith, did you not see that there's paid ones in there too? I'm sorry if I didn't cover that enough. These ones here at the top are free. Look, free, 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 free. Paid, 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 free. So there's a interspersing there of free and paid communities. And it doesn't look like they're in free or paid order. Again, it just looks like they're in number of members order. God help me if Rob Bailey ever gets one on here. Rob Bailey's community would be like, we've got 70,000 people, and Patrick has 116 people. Rob's a brilliant guy, but that guy's got a massive following. So let's go back and cover some more changes. So again, any kind of dashboard improvement, I absolutely love. That's one of the features I'm really in love with is their dashboarding features. This is kind of cool. I think I've seen some features come out recently which are trying to limit the number of fraudulent texts and fraudulent contacts and fraudulent phone related things. And so this is a fix to that right there. And that's good because we pay per inbound phone call, outbound phone call, inbound text, outbound text, inbound WhatsApp messages, outbound WhatsApp messages. So anything that they can do to help us prevent the fraud and stop spending money. Thank you guys. Thank you, Sean. Math calculations V2 and form surveys. I thought I covered this last week. We are thrilled. 117. Sweet. Thank you, Kayla. We are thrilled to announce. Keith, can you approve her into the group, to the elite community, please. We are thrilled to announce the extension of the math calculations feature in forms and surveys. Now, users can assign scores to additional field types, including radio select, checkbox. Oh, we did cover this. You know why I know we covered this last week is because I was doing a form over here. I was doing a survey over here, which ironically is part of the GHL badass thing that I'm covering over here. And we built this example last week. So for those of you that haven't seen this, what you can do now in surveys, and again, surveys is one of those things I haven't been using a lot of, but I'm going to be using probably a lot more than forms because I like to use these things to qualify prospects, okay? So as you can see here, I have a multi-page survey where I'm asking questions, okay? And based on this information here, I want to score someone, okay? The entire point of surveys here is to help score someone or qualify slash disqualify someone, okay? So what you can do now, rather than just gathering these answers, 5, 10, 10, 50, whatever, is over here on the right-hand side, you can give these answers scores. So my methodology on this is the people so here's kind of the two different mindsets in my opinion you should build your surveys in. Your goal should be to see who is more qualified and who is less qualified, okay? So to that end, you should decide whether or not the higher numbers are better for your qualification or the lower numbers, okay? In this particular case, it may be that my higher numbers thank you, I appreciate that, Kayla. My higher numbers are the better qualified people for me, okay? And I literally did this with the GHL Badass event. That's how I discovered this, okay? My higher numbers in this particular case, I'm looking to me are the more qualified people. And the reason I'm not sure about this is because I built this last week, so I'm trying to remember what I built last week. So do you have any coaching clients yet? 10 is a no. Okay, let's come down here. Are you independent travel agency? 10 is a yes. Okay, cool. And what's this one right here? What is your average booking transaction size? 10. Okay, so in my particular case, the way I built this is my higher scores are the more qualified people. So to me, someone who gets a 30, what's a 30? Someone who has no calculation score, no coaching clients, someone who is an independent travel agent, because we don't want the corporate travel agents, if you will, or people who are part of a franchise, and somebody who books high ticket kind of stuff. So we don't want the people, we don't really want the people that may be booking lower ticket. So if you look at all my options here, I've got 3 questions, okay? My lowest option is a 2. What's this one? This one's probably a 2, knowing me, and this one would be a 2 also. So think about this for a second. What this means is my lowest possible score in this entire thing is going to be a 6. What's my highest possible score? Easy, right? 30. So somewhere, as people go through and answer these, because these should all be required, asterisk required, asterisk required, and asterisk required, okay? So people have to fill out all 3 of these to get a hold of me in my travel agent survey, and they're going to end up with a score of 6, somewhere between 6 and 30, no less than 6, no more than 30, okay? And to me, as I go through this data, as someone who's looking to qualify people, I'm going to be really excited when I see scores above, let's see, what's the difference between 6 and 30? 6 and 30 is 24, 6 plus 12 is 18. So, is that right? That doesn't seem right. 6 through 24, that's a delta of 18. So, half the delta, a 9, 15. 15 is the middle, right? Did I do that math right? Everyone watching? I think I did that math on the top of my head. 15. Kayla is a flyer too. Ooh, as in a pilot? Is Kayla a pilot too, Keith? So anyways, so to me, what I would do as somebody who owned a business is I would calculate the score, and then I would dump that to a Google Sheet so I could very easily see who were my low priority, medium priority, and high priority prospects. And what you can do in high level now, and that's what this math is talking about here, is down here on my final slide, I can have a score that I calculate on the fly. So I could just dump these three numbers out to a Google Sheet, right? My twos, my fives, my sixes, or whatever, and just do the math in my head. That wouldn't be a problem. But what's cruelly airplane on your survey? A question. What was the survey question? I didn't see a survey question on flyer. What am I missing? I might have missed something there. I apologize, Keith. There's something I'm missing. To purchase a Piper Archer. Ooh, nice. I've got a couple hundred hours here in Oklahoma City, where the FAA is headquartered, Kayla. So I'm mostly a high wing Cessna guy or a low wing like Cherokee 160 guy. I've got time in both those. So we'll have to talk flying stuff when we were in Dallas. But anyway, my whole point is this change here of doing math in forms and surveys. You can do this now is you can have a score. Notice it's a hidden field. So the person never sees this, okay? Nobody will ever see this. It's just calculated behind the scenes. And then you go over here on the right-hand side. Obviously, you marked it hidden. Membership and HighLevel Elite. Cool. So you go over here on the right-hand side, make sure your market is hidden, and then calculations. You can do this cool, they give you like a little cool calculator thing here a while, where you basically can say, you can take the answers of your questions you can take the answers from your questions and do math on them and store them in that score. So the simplest thing to do would be just to take the numbers and add them up. But it looks like last week I was getting really fancy here and basically taking the number of coaching clients and multiplying that times 10. But you can kind of get an idea. It's like a whole formula builder. So it probably pays attention to the order of operations, which all of us growing up in math know that there's a certain order of operations, but if it can't do it correctly, then use parentheses on it. So normally I would say, let's backspace over all this. And let's say we would normally, let's start from scratch. Let's backspace over all this. And so a very basic one would be, how many coaching clients do you have? Plus, are you an independent travel agent? Plus, what is your average booking transaction size? Okay. No place to. So if I leave that and come back, does that save automatically? I don't have to click on save for that. Did that work? Oh, cool. So you don't have to save it here in this area, obviously in the upper right-hand corner. You have to save it. Network error. What? You shut up, computer. Do not tell me network error. I don't need any network errors the week of high-level commerce. Let's reload this to make sure our session's intact. Let's go back down and check our math to make sure that's saved okay. Oh, wait, go down to our math score. Save this. Okay, cool. We saved. Okay. And again, this is exactly what I'm using over here at GHLBadass.com when I'm coming through and I'm asking people, because I want to know. It's always a good idea. Quick sidestep here, sidebar. It's always a good idea if you're going to be doing a training for people or a lead generation session for people, or any kind of presentation or speech in general. This is my take on this. Let me make my face a little bit larger here because I can't have enough. Even I can't have enough, Patrick. Whenever you're going to do anything to me, when you're presenting to a group, it would be nice to know what that group knows before you present to them, okay? And then I like to survey after a group. So I'll give you an example here. In the perfect world, with a perfect speaking scenario, I would survey the people before to figure out a very simple survey to get a general idea of what their main pain point is or their main problem is, okay? That will guide the content I create. So my GHL Badass thing that I'm doing tomorrow morning in 23 and a half hours, because it's 9:30, what the content that we're building is based on the answers here, okay? Thomas Keenan, who's another brilliant guy, and I are presenting tomorrow, okay? When we're not lifting weights, we're presenting. And I've taken all this stuff, I've calculated the scores, I've dumped that into a spreadsheet for Thomas and I to see. So as we're getting our content ready, because I know I'm going to be getting ready up until the very last minute, I'm making that content geared towards the the people that are going to be there tomorrow. Okay, I think we have 13 people signed up, um, and I do that when I present on stage at keynote events and breakouts, such as at conferences. Also, is I like to survey the people ahead of time, get a good idea of what they know going in, because it lets me adjust my content, and then I like to survey people after. That's very much a bonus, and see what they learn or maybe where they're still stuck. Obviously, this is good data to have to help guide your content, but also you can speak to people's individual problems. So, if in my class tomorrow, I know everyone who's coming, and I know what their problems are. Okay, I know what their problems are before they get there. For our particular case, most of it's lead flow and lead generation, which ironically, a lot of us in marketing have a challenge with. But that's going to be one of our main topics tomorrow, and we're going to have Johan from HighLevel Suite in the room also. I might get him to be able to get up and talk for 10 minutes about how we use his product and bring that into the HighLevel world for B2B lead generation. Okay, but surveys. I mean, anyone can do a form. Okay, obviously HighLevel has a brilliant form builder. I just noticed my little camera thing has an angle to it. So obviously HighLevel has a brilliant form builder option over here under sites and forms. But up until recently, I haven't used surveys much, and I'm going to start using that a lot more. Look at even right here, you get surveys. How did I do this? How did I get a bizarre X on my survey submissions? But you can come down here and analyze your surveys, see your data, export. The way I particularly choose. The way I particularly choose to do it is I like dumping this data real time into a Google Sheet because Google Sheets are just great for all kinds of math manipulation. So yeah, so use surveys more. That's this whole thing, which is to use surveys more. Quick reminder: has anyone added anything to Go Collab yet? While we've been sitting here, Go Collab yet? Nope. Okay. So I'm hoping they bring this up on the main stage and they say, "Hey, look, there's Patrick Allman's face." What? But yeah, if you are watching this live stream and you haven't done this yet, hop over to gocollab.com and join. Click on this and join my community right here. And you might find some other good communities in here. Wait, do I have to? If I refresh this now, I'm up to 117. Still shows 116. The one thing I did learn about this between last night and this morning is that there's a delay on updates in your community versus when they appear on gocollab.com. Okay. Obviously, I'm up to 217 members. That number is wrong. But even when I was updating like my cover photo last night, it took a little while. It was like 10 or 15 minutes before this cache over here refreshed based on the image I actually created inside, inside my account and under my memberships area. So that's where this information comes from. Is this information comes from? Okay, might as well. Can we reveal it here? It's not here. Is it not here? Ooh, it's not here yet. I believe, let me pull this up in a different tab without showing you guys to see where this option was that may not be in my test account yet. So under memberships, communities, groups, is this not available yet? What? What? Now I don't remember how I got that into the directory, but I was pretty sure there was another menu option up here at the top that basically said to put my group inside the public collab directory. I don't see that option there anymore. I wonder if they got rid of it or if I'm missing it someplace. Yeah, I was pretty sure there was something, or was it under community settings? No, it wasn't there. It wasn't under branded mobile app. So it may have been under here or inside of the actual demo community. Let's go inside the actual community itself and see if there's an option there to put this inside of a directory under settings. No, I don't see anything there. Membership questions. Wow. Huh. So, because wherever the option was to put it under the shared directory of collab, it was pretty obvious. It was right here towards the top, someplace. Okay, let's hop into contacts a little bit and see if there's anything else brand new that's come out in the past couple of days. Oh, well, first of all, there's been all kinds of UI updates. So now when I go into stuff like media storage and I'm working in the media library, I'm noticing some slight differences. Um, you caught the narrow window when they had it open for testing. Yeah, that's probably true, Keith. And they probably saw people like Charles and I start adding groups, adding entries, and they freaked out and shut that down. So Patrick's breaking the rules again. But they are doing some UI updates. So I've noticed for like every now and then you'll go into contacts or into media storage, and there'll be some slight UI updates. I'm trying to see if there's anything here recent that I noticed change. Oh, by the way, if you're ever in a contact and you've got a lot of stuff here, as I do on the left hand side, and it feels very crowded and it feels like it's hard to find your information, use this hide empty fields thing at the top. Okay? Then you can kind of, first of all, you do know that you can collapse all of your sections right there, right? Can you not collapse? Oh yeah, automations, tags. You can collapse all this stuff. But what's cool? Oh, so this some of the stuff down here has been regrouped on the left-hand side. Actions and client portal. I believe some of that has been regrouped. But yeah, when you hide empty fields, your contact information gets a lot easier to read. And one of the things I will admit I have to like about HighLevel, yeah, see all that stuff is blank because it's all empty fields, is that is not is a lot of times in products like this, you'll see because it's written by developers, you'll see not the best UI, okay? And HighLevel doesn't have the best UI, 100% I'll admit, okay? But one of the things that they do very well is they allow me to minimize the number of clicks, okay? For example, there was probably a developer one day who came in here and saw that they had, a couple of hundred empty fields, and they were scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, looking for stuff. And so some developer one day said, "Screw this! I don't want this many clicks. Let's add this hide empty fields." I've never seen that in any other CRM, so that's brilliant for keeping this stuff clean on the left hand side. Okay. Conversations. I heard there was some UI. Well, I'm not going to have any conversations inside here because I don't have any SMS accounts hooked up. The one last thing I will cover real quick before I basically literally head to the other room and start packing is it's not under marketing, it's under sites. This is something I have personally discovered in the past month, and it's something I'm using at the actual event. So I'm using a QR code here. Okay, so if you haven't used a QR code, I really thought QR codes would die a long time ago, and they're not dying. They're not going anyplace, unfortunately. I've never been a big fan of them, but I can fight against the stream all I want, or I can turn around and swim downstream with the salmon and go mate. Okay, so I'm drinking the QR code Kool-Aid, and so what I've done for the event is I actually created custom T-shirts with QR codes on the back. So yeah, HighLevel has QR codes now. I'll be able to let's create one. Okay, let's create one. So QR code, we'll just call this one badass event link. We're going to link to a website here. Okay, do I have to pick one from my list? Okay, cool. I can put in any website here. It doesn't even have to be a HighLevel website. What was my domain name? ghlbadass.com /badass. Oh wow. I guess I never noticed, and this makes sense that the QR code's changing with everything I type. So that's kind of cool. It tells me that it's encoded in the QR code right there. And then the part about this, which I really had fun with, is so here's my tech on it on Kayla. We marketers, you know what? Let's jump over to full camera mode real quick. Here we go. Okay, cool. We'll come back to the QR code demonstration. So the reason I'm not a fan of QR codes is QR codes is a tail wagging the dog situation, meaning we marketers are really good at looking at something in the world, everything, a book, a coffee cup, this, and we're trying to figure out, ooh, how can I use this in marketing? How can I use it to get someone's attention? I just realized I should put a QR code on my coffee cup, huh? That way when I do this and it holds up, there's a QR code. I just realized I should do that. Anyways, marketers are really bad at just trying to take something that's nice and normal and turning it into a marketing thing, okay? QR codes were not invented for marketing, Kayla. QR, this is not me ranting about you at all, okay? So I'm just using your name because I want to get your attention. QR codes were invented in automotive shops to help inventory car parts, okay? And I'm guessing, totally random, I'm guessing someday some marketer, some internet marketing guru was walking through an automotive construction shop and said, "Ooh, what's that cool? What's that cool square code? That'd be cool to put on a piece of paper or use in an event." And some auto guy, some union auto worker said, "That's just a QR code. We just use that for inventory." They're like, "Ooh, I want to use that for a cool event." And then all of a sudden, we tried making QR codes mainstream. Um, we tried making QR codes mainstream, okay? And we tried again. This was what do they call that? A solution looking for a problem, okay? And people were like, "Oh, it's going to be so easy for you now to scan in websites or pull up stuff. Just scan this QR code." And ever since those came out, I'm like, why would I scan a QR code to get a phone number? Just give me the damn phone number. Or why would I scan a QR code to visit a website? Just give me the damn website. If I'm going to scan the QR code, I can just as easily go to the website. So to me, it was putting in something that looked cool, but it was putting an extra layer in between prospects and getting them the information. Okay. I thought QR codes would die. They actually have died a little bit, but there are times, I'm going to be very picky about this. There are times when it can be a cool thing. And in this particular case, I have a big back, the upper back, not the lower back, just to be clear there. I have a big back, and I got some ideas from some people, and I incorporated them, and I made QR codes for my shirts. And the QR codes are nice because you can do some other things besides just go to websites. Mine actually creates a text message. So if you're going to be at the event and you're going to scan my QR code, it's going to create a text message where you can text me that I can get your information. But the QR code here, really quick, is very cool because you can do stuff like you can style it because my brand colors are red, black, and whatchamacallit. So you can do all kinds of cool QR code options here. What did I do? And so you can style the whole thing here. Let's go with styling with the white up there. Hopefully that'll scan okay. And then okay, yeah, this was kind of cool. The logo. So I thought this is kind of cool. You can put a logo in the middle, or you can come here and upload your logo. So this is what I did on mine. Is I believe I went and uploaded in my main account. What can I upload? Sorry, I'm hearing something. I was hearing something in the office chime. Um, Search media or explore. Can I not upload? What am I missing? Am I not to the top of the page? There we go. Upload. That freaked me out for a second. So let's go into my infamous downloads folder. Let's find an SDN logo. Wouldn't that be freaky if I embedded a QR code in the middle of my QR code? Let's go find a quick SDN thing right here. And you know what? We're going to put that in the middle. So you know what? That doesn't look great. Let's do a background color of, oh, you know what? I just realized my screen sharing isn't on. Sorry about that. Okay, there's our screen. There's our screen share. So I'm in the middle of here styling the QR code. I'm surprised someone didn't tell me about that. Styling the QR code. Yeah, there you go, Kayla. I just caught it. I apologize. Um, so in this particular case, because my S is red, probably wouldn't do that. So maybe make my background color. Should I make it white? Does that work? No. Black? Nope, that doesn't work. Probably, white's horrible. So my background color so not red, not white, maybe white, and then the dots. Let's make the dots black to see how that looks. There we go. Okay. Cool. So let me make the dots black. So I don't know what's on my actual. You know what? I do know what's on my actual shirt. I take that back. So there's the red one. So I had to come up with 3 different ones because I didn't want people thinking I was wearing the same shirt every day at the event. So I have 3 different colored shirts for my brand colors. I have a red one, a black one, and a white one. And so I had to come up with different versions. Whoops. I had to come up with different versions of the QR codes based on the shirt color. So actually, I developed 3 QR codes or the custom shirts, put some stuff on the sleeve, put some stuff on the front, and then got the shirts printed. And the first thing and when I was working on the mock ups of the shirts using the QR code, the I was trying to scan the mock-up on my computer from my phone, the QR code, and it wasn't working. So when I ordered the shirt, I tested and tested and tested. I made sure I used a very high resolution image for the printer. And I tested and tested and tested, and it would work sometimes, it wouldn't work the other times. So the first thing I did when the shirts got in the mail this week and they got here is I tore open that package and I laid out all those shirts nice and flat, and I scanned all 3 of them. And all 3 QR codes worked on all 3 shirts. So, anyways, I guess this is my way of saying that I wasn't such a big fan of QR codes, but I'm probably going to lean into them a little bit more. I'm not going to dive in, really deep, but for situations where I want people to very easily scan in something, I'm going to use them. And I'm probably, knowing me, I'm not going to send them to forums or websites. I'm going to have them text in, okay? Because to me, because we are so mobile friendly and so mobile heavy, Printful is where I got them from, Kayla. So Printful, and it's just so Printful. Anyway, so really quick to finish my previous thought, I'm probably going to use my QR codes primarily to send people to text me, and you can do that. And I think I learned this from Thomas Keenan, is you can make the hyperlink on a QR code. Let's go previous. You can make the hyperlink on a QR code, whatever the hyperlink is for, and you know what, I'm making this up, so this is probably wrong. 4752, and then you can do something like, hey, Patrick, nice to see you at GHL 24. Okay, that's a very long version. Maybe you just make the code. GHL 24, no spaces. Okay. So again, I don't think this protocol is correct. It may just be SMS : whatever it is. But what this means is when someone scans that QR code, this is what it's going to do on their phone. So my QR code in the back of my event shirts is going to open up their texting app and basically start a text message, and basically they just have to hit send, and then we'll be on my list. And they will get my freebie offer. Okay. Yeah, I've used Printful. Interesting. Printful is where I use for all my drop shipping. I've used it well before I even knew what HighLevel was. So when they came out with the Printful integration, I was beyond excited. Okay, and if you're somebody who's watching this and you want to get into print on demand, Printful is just one of the largest shops out there that I would definitely work with. If you ever want to set up an e-commerce store, text me at 405-217-4752, and I will help you get a HighLevel account, and I will help you get it set up, and it will take you all of a day, if that. Okay, if that. I'm literally, if I sat down with you at a coffee shop, we could have an e-commerce store up and running in a couple of hours. And correct me if I'm wrong, Kayla and Keith. I mean, it's just really that easy these days to get a very basic print on demand thing up and running. So what you have now is you have a shop here where I have where I have Patrick swag you can buy. I don't market this a lot, okay? Oftentimes you'll see me, I have stores and things that I use mainly for demos, but this is a working store, and you can order stuff on here. And where does this come from? This comes from my HighLevels, my Printful store. So right over here in my Printful store, which is my print on demand company, that POD, that's what that stands for those of you new to the world. And inside of my Printful store here, this is where I create my products, okay? So I can create a new product here, a coffee cup, a mug, a t-shirt, socks, bras, athletic wear. Okay, I can create all kinds of things in here. And as soon as I create them, they sync up over here automatically. Okay, I don't have to do anything. Okay, I can come here right now, do an add product, and this is all the stuff they possibly sell. And I kid you not when I say they have, here we go. I thought about this. It's like, should I ever have a stop doing nothing sports bra? I could really do that. But anything they make here, I'm looking at all the possibly ridiculous stuff. Ooh, Patrick could have a stop doing nothing skirts. Okay, I can do all kinds of print on demand stuff here. So in this particular one, it looks like more. It's like, is it just being a large shirt? What's Wonder Women's knitwear? Oh, kids. I mean, there's just so much stuff here, and I can put my brand on any of this stuff. Oh, my daughter was making the trucker hats. Okay, so I can do trucker hats. Okay, I can design a trucker hat, put my logo on it, talk about the price of it, and as soon as I save it, add it to my HighLevel store. So here's the retro tuck. Here's the retro one. That's the best seller. As soon as I add it with the right number of colors and the layout and everything, it will automatically appear over here. Okay. It is trippy how easy this stuff is. So if somebody came to me, or if I'm in Dallas and somebody said, Patrick, I want to get a print on demand store up and running, I could sit down with them in probably an hour or two and have them selling. Okay. Again, it's just a matter of going inside your CRM, setting up all of the integrations, connecting it to your Printful account. And again, the reason I just picked that random Printful product is because there's just so many things you can slap your logo on here. But I can come here, design a couple of products, set up the integration over here. And again, it would be under stores over here, my e-commerce store. I don't have one right here in the test account. But you tie that to a domain and bam, you're selling. Because of course, I would have connected a Stripe account here also, okay? So just print on demand. To me, when you know all the tech solutions or the tech answers to things, everything else becomes so much easy. It really does. So I see, and I'm sure Keith and Kayla see this also. I just realized both of you are K's. No idea how I got that lucky. But when someone says they want an e-commerce shop running, they talk about all the pieces that are involved with it. I've got to go get a license. I've got to go get a tax ID number. I've got to go get a bank account. I've got to go get a merchant account. I'm like, no, sell and market first. Before you, in 2024, the concept of going through all these steps to set up a business is so old school. If you want to do a print on demand t-shirt stuff, don't worry about the business side of it, in my opinion. Design the shirts, buy a domain, get your store up and running, and tell everybody about it. Okay? That's what you have to do. If you start selling some stuff, then worry about the formal part of it, okay? But if you're going to sell something, get it up and running and try to sell it as soon as possible so you can prove early on with a proof of concept whether or not this is going to be a good fit for you, okay? The tech side of it, it really is easy, and the market will tell you whether or not you should be selling something or not, okay? And the thing is about shirts is a couple things you have to be careful of, and I'm going to end the stream, you guys, so I can get on the road. Is two things that in my world of thought leadership and professional speaking, two things that look really attractive that don't make a lot of money. I'm going to tell you right now are number one, swag. Swag is more for awareness and making sure you sell more swag, and books. Okay, these are good things to sell. They're good things for brand awareness, but they're very rarely make $1 million. Okay, and the reason I say that is because a lot of people get into the print on demand space expecting to make a ton of money. They're like, I've got the baddest ideas for these 20 t-shirts I'm going to put up on the internet and they are going to sell like hotcakes. No, they are not going to sell like hotcakes unless right now things politically related will obviously sell like hotcakes. But for the most part, your cool t-shirt idea, someone has already had, and somebody else is probably already selling it. So in the world of swag, a lot of it is for brand recognition and making sure you have a popular enough brand out there so the brand name and people wanting to be associated with the brand carries forward. You can actually, let me see if you can see it. You can even see my shirt right here. Let me zoom out a little bit with the camera. Can I do that? Oh, zooming in, zooming out. I've got a stop doing nothing shirt on, okay? I like to keep mine nice and simple. This is a shirt I made myself, and I try to wear my messaging whenever I can. So this is my road shirt today. So every truck stop I stop in, which will be at least 2 or 3, on my way down, someone will probably ask about this, okay? And I've got some messaging on the back also. But going into creating your own swag and wearing your own brand, to me, there's nothing like it. It generates business. It generates conversation. It's something you should definitely do. Okay, unless you guys think there's something else I should cover, I am coming up on 10 o'clock, so I did it, 90 minutes? Is that right? Yeah, I did. Oh, there is my timer, hour, almost an hour and a half. I'm going to wrap up the live stream. I don't think I'll have time. I might get out some small live streams here and there, but I don't think I'll have a lot of time to live stream unless I'm doing some interviews in Dallas, which I did not plan on. But I'm going to wrap up the live stream, shut down my tech, pack up everything, and hit the road and come hang out with Kayla. Keith, I'll be hanging out with you in spirit, sir. We got to see you next year and hang out and do some stuff together. And for everybody else who is watching, who's in Dallas right now, um, learn a lot. I think, like I said, today is a VIP day. Have fun. Um, know if this is your first conference, know that a lot of the productivity you're going to have at this event is going to be in the hallways. Okay. I have thought for a while, this is still proven true, is that when I go to an event, whether I'm doing professional speaking at the event, like a keynote speaker or a breakout session speaker, or even attending an event, a lot of the value I get is from the hallway conversations. Okay. So, people in the hallway picking my brain, me picking other people's brains. Okay, maybe if someone's doing like a really important keynote, like, and oftentimes, keynotes are more motivational than they are technical. But if someone's doing like a very uplifting motivational keynote, and I've heard them before, I've heard their shtick or their spiel before, I may go step out in the hallway and get some work done. Or maybe a buddy asked me, "Hey Patrick, do you have some time so I can pick your brain on how to do something in e-commerce?" And we'll just step outside. We'll work in the hallway where it's nice and quiet, or we'll go talk to a vendor where it's nice and quiet while everyone else is in the main room. So please enjoy the conference, network like crazy, give out your phone number like crazy, okay? Specifically your HighLevel SMS number, okay? Have people text and abuse that thing by texting into you all the time. Mine is 405 217 4752. Write that down, save it. And if you do anything at the event, if you want to know where the apples are, if you want to know where the coffee is, if you want to know where the restrooms are, if you want to know where the closest Starbucks is, text me, let me know, and I will get you there. I will help you out because I've been to this part of Dallas before, and I've been to this conference before, and I can't wait to meet every single one of you. I'm going to hit the road. It's a 3.5 hour drive. My Airbnb is not too far from the Giant Eyeball. Kayla, thank you. It's been a pleasure chatting with you, and I will see you soon. Keith, brother, I will see you online. I'll try to get updates out daily one way or another. But I'm going to end the live stream. Oh, by the way, if you haven't done so, please make sure you subscribe on YouTube, right? I'm almost to 2,000 YouTube subscribers, and I will take every single one I can vet. And if you had done it on the live stream, by the way, it's pretty cool. Your name, you can't see where I'm circling here. It's right here. When you subscribe on YouTube, your name pops up in this square. There's a little square on my screen. It's right here, here. This is kind of cool. I'm drawing the square I'm seeing on my screen. Your name pops up right here when you subscribe on YouTube. Okay, that is going to be cool when people subscribe on YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed on YouTube and you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe so you can get alerted when I go live. It's my pleasure, Kayla. Again, cool. I'm being you in Dallas. I will head down and I will see you shortly. And you've got my number, Kayla. If you ever need anything, text that 405 217 4752 and we will connect and have some Starbucks. And it will be a grand, grand time in Dallas. I'm going to hit the road. Thank you for watching. Keith, brother, I appreciate you as always with the community and on the live streams. You are definitely getting some dinners when I see you in person. Okay? Everyone have a great time. I will see you in Dallas in probably about 4 or 5 hours. Take care.